Okay. Good afternoon. This is a hearing, a case for the saints of the Most High versus the world as the defendant or the accused. And since this is a case, a hearing that involves criminal activity, the defendant, the accused, the world will be also termed as the panel. There is a total of 3 co-defendants in this hearing, all with various crimes, but yet similar. I'm Bill Sean Yasharallah, and I will be hosting this hearing and handing down judgment. So let us begin. What gives me the authority to do this, you might ask? Well, I'm going to start with reading the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 17. And it goes as this: No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of Yahweh, and their righteousness is of me, says Yahweh. And for further evidence to support my claim, I will read you a letter from the New Testament from Paul, where he says this: to the Corinthians in chapter 6, verse 3. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 3. Know you not that we shall judge angels? How much more things that pertain to this life? Okay, with that being said, we're going to get started again here with the case. And as Isaiah chapter 54, verse 17 says, that every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment, thou shalt condemn. Condemn means to pronounce guilty and wicked. So, therefore, in the name of Yahushai and his power invested in me, as a legal inheritance of the servant of Yahweh, I will condemn. Number 1, I will condemn you wicked women as law breakers on the accounts of 1, usurpers of authority; 2, false accusations; 3, disloyalty; 4, truce breakers; 5, maliciousness and betrayal; 6, deceptive practices; 7, Sabbath breakers; 8, dishonor to mother and father-in-laws; 9, lovers of self; and finally, 10, covetousness. For the second co-defendant, I condemn you employers as wicked lawbreakers on the accounts of 1, deception; 2, maliciousness; 3, false accusations; 4, heavy unequal burdens; and 5, oppressive, uncaring ethics. And for the last co-defendant, I condemn you judges, you enforcement officers, you referees, you tax collectors, you attorneys, you state prosecutors, and your international judges as grossly wicked lawbreakers on the accounts of 1, the misappropriation of funds, 2, negligence, 3, abuse of power, 4, usury, 5, unfair judgments, 6, enforced servitude and bondage, 7, wrongful convictions, 8, oppression of Yahweh's saints. You all have been found guilty breaking the civil, ceremonial, and dietary laws of the Most High Yahweh, who is the supreme commander of heaven's armies and the creator of heaven and earth. How do you plead? You're not present, nor do you care for this hearing to invest your time, so your plea is forfeited. Therefore, your judgment is justified. As a servant and ambassador of the Creator of the universe and His Son, Yahushai, I find you guilty as charged. Your penalty is now due. Before I begin to pass out judgment, is there anyone here that will make a case to testify on your behalf?
Beg your pardon, Your Honor. I'm here on behalf of the defendant, the horse, and
Order the court! Order! Let there be order in this court. This is a serious matter. The court recognized Prophetess Abigail.
Your Honor, I plead an appeal for the whorish and unrighteous woman, for she is a product of today's society. What say you, Judge?
Your motion will be accepted. The appeal will be granted in the second resurrection. But for the rest of the defendants, I condemn you all to the lake of fire, and may God not have mercy on your soul. What say you?
Amen.
Very well. Now I will pass down judgment that will pertain to this immediate life. On this day of atonement, I'm afflicting myself through much prayer and supplication that your judgment comes in a form stated in the book of Isaiah chapter 58 verse 6. Number 1, broken ties to your unity of wickedness, it will turn against you. Number 2, your heavy burdens you place on me and the rest of Yasharallah is now undone. Number 3, those tasks and responsibilities is now placed on you. Number 4, the court abuse of power to oppress Yahweh's people has failed, and every form of bondage is reversed on you. In addition, 5, spiritual wickedness in high places will be brought down, and hot coals from heaven will fall upon your own head. Number 6, death and destruction will rain down upon you, and there will be no escape. 7, as fire consumed the pursuers of the prophet Elijah, so too will fire consume thee, and your house will be desolate. A divine stoning is on its way. I suggest you prepare for it. This judgment is set and will not be undone. May Yah condemn you all. Again, what gives me this right to judge? In the New Testament, the book of John, the Gospel, chapter 7, verse 24. Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. And I encourage now every Israelite who agrees with this condemnation and judgment to stand with me in unison as we look upon Isaiah chapter 58, verse 6. Is not this the fast that I have chosen, to loose the bands of wickedness, to undo heavy burdens, and to let the oppressed go free, and that you break every yoke? Is it not to deal thy bread to the hungry, and that thou bring the poor that are cast out into thy house, when thou seest the naked, that thou cover him, and that thou hide not thyself from thine own flesh? Verse 8. Then shall thy light break forth as the morning, and thine health shall spring forth speedily, and thy righteousness shall go before thee. The glory of Yahweh shall be thy reward. Then shalt thou call, and Yahweh shall answer. Thou shalt cry, and he shall say, Here I am. If thou take away from the midst of thee the yoke, the putting forth of the finger, and speaking vanity, and if thou draw out thy soul to the hungry, and satisfy the afflicted soul, then shall thy light rise in obscurity, and thy darkness be as the noonday. And Yahweh shall guide thee continually, and satisfy thy soul in drought, and make fat thy bones. And thou shalt be like a watered garden, and like a spring of water, whose waters fail not. And they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places. Thou shalt rise up the foundations of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of the path to dwell in. So, on this Day of Atonement, I suggest we all pray. If any is afflicted, let him pray. James chapter 5, verse 13. Pray for this. Pray that we loose the bands of wickedness. Pray that we undo the heavy burdens that are placed upon our people. Pray that the wicked, the oppressor, release those who are oppressed. Pray that every yoke, every abuse of power, every chain, every worry and task and responsibility that is in a form of servitude and bondage be broken. And we know where this is coming from. We know this is coming from the people that have been tried in this hearing. We have women who have betrayed our people. We have the courts who are working in tandem with the women to bring about judgment upon our people. We have the law enforcement officers, the politicians, the international courts, the referees, and even the jobs, the employers, all working to bring oppression and heavy burdens upon our people. These all work in unison, and therefore I condemn them all in the name of Yahushua. As it says, again, that every tongue that rises against thee in judgment. Have they not judged you? Have they not spoken against you, my brother? Then I suggest that you now condemn them. You condemn them. And as it says here, this is your heritage. This is the heritage of the servants of Yahweh and their righteousness. Yes, you have righteousness. It is of him, your Savior. So put his righteousness before you and condemn all those who speak and rise judgment against you. With that being said, this hearing is adjourned.